Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you today the way I talk on that stage, real, raw, and honest. Because some of you need to hear this with your heart, not just your ears. See, life teaches you things age never could, and age teaches you things time never explains. When a woman grows older, she becomes seasoned, powerful, wiser. Sometimes she forgets that her power is not in what she gives away, it's in what she keeps for herself. Every man doesn't deserve access to your entire story, your weaknesses, your wounds, your fears. Strength isn't just loud confidence. Sometimes it's silent self-respect. Never reveal the deepest insecurities about aging, because the moment you put your fears into words, you hand someone the power to use them against you. When a woman gets older, she often forgets that age is not a weakness. It's proof she survived, she learned, she lived. But insecurity whispers in her ear late at night, telling her youth was the best thing she ever had, that beauty had an expiration date, that men only admire the glow of newness. And when she sits across from a man she cares about, she sometimes wants to spill every emotion. How she fears she's not as attractive as she once was, how she compares herself to younger women, how she sees little changes in the mirror and prays he doesn't see them. This world is built on confidence, not confession of fear. The things you say about yourself shape the way people see you. If you stand in front of a man and list every flaw you think you carry, he may start noticing things he never saw before. Not because he's cruel, because you taught him what to look for. A powerful woman never points at her scars. She doesn't announce what bothers her. She walks with grace as if time itself serves her. When you talk about wrinkles or gray hair with shame, you make age the enemy. When you embrace yourself, you show a man what beauty really looks like. Beauty that has depth, history, wisdom, softness, and strength woven together. Men are drawn to what you believe about yourself. If you believe you're fading, he will too. If you believe you are timeless, elegant, irreplaceable, then age becomes irrelevant. A man doesn't fall in love with a number. He falls in love with presence, energy, self-assurance. Confidence is louder than collagen, louder than smooth skin, louder than the ticking of years. Instead of revealing that you're afraid of aging, show the world how beautifully you carry it. Speak with certainty, move with grace, laugh like time has been kind to you, because it has. You earned every lesson, every memory, every year. You know things you didn't know at 20. You've seen things that shaped you. You've held heartbreak and got back up. You've loved deeply and healed slowly. That is not something to hide. That is something to honor. You don't need to tell a man about the nights you felt invisible or the moments you questioned your beauty. Keep those sacred. Let your strength speak louder than your fear. When he looks at you, he should see confidence, not confession, power, not doubt. When you walk into a room, you're not less, you're more. More aware of what you deserve, more sure of what you want, more capable of love that is steady, not shallow. What you reveal should elevate you, not shrink you. Silence over insecurity is not dishonesty, it is self-respect. When you guard your fears, you protect your power. And when you protect your power, no one can diminish the glow that time gave you. Never reveal how much you've tolerated in past relationships, because when a man learns the depths of what you accepted, he may unconsciously begin to treat you by the standards you set before him. Sometimes a woman carries her history like a suitcase, heavy and worn, and she thinks sharing every story with a new man proves honesty, trust, connection. She may sit across from him and tell him how she stayed with someone who disrespected her, how she forgave betrayal, how she swallowed her pride just to keep a relationship alive. But when you expose how much pain you endured, a man may not see your resilience, he may see your tolerance. He may think you will withstand the same again. Not every man is manipulative, but human nature adapts to what you normalize. If you tell him you stayed after lies, he may think lying will not cost him you. If you describe how you accepted broken promises, he may believe promises are optional. If you admit you loved someone more than you loved yourself, he may expect that same imbalance. Your past is not a confession, it's a private archive of lessons that made you who you are. What matters is not what you tolerated then, but what you refuse to tolerate now. A woman with history is not weak. She is seasoned. She learned patience, emotional intelligence, endurance. But these strengths should show through how you carry yourself today, not through stories of what hurt you yesterday. When you talk too freely about the times you were taken for granted, you risk placing yourself at a disadvantage. A man should meet the woman you became, not the woman who settled. He should see confidence in your boundaries, not blindness to red flags. He should witness your growth through action. How quickly you walk away from disrespect, how calmly you demand consistency, how clearly you know your worth. These demonstrations speak louder than any story of suffering. Some parts of you are meant to be treasured internally, not displayed like open wounds. You don't need to recount every betrayal to prove you survived it. Healing doesn't require audience applause. You overcame privately, you rebuilt quietly, and now your strength should stand without explanation. The right man doesn't need to know every detail of the damage. You are enough proof of your own survival. You don't have to prove that you stayed when you should have left. What matters is that you know better now. You're not hiding your past. You're protecting the dignity of your evolution. When you keep those chapters to yourself, you're not being secretive, you're being wise. A queen does not hand strangers the blueprint to her palace. She guards her gates. She decides who enters. And she never explains the battle she fought to protect her throne. Never reveal your financial struggles or your full financial status too early, because money is a language, and the moment you speak it out loud, people start deciding how to treat you. When a woman tells a man everything about her financial world, whether she is struggling or whether she is doing well, she hands him a map to her vulnerability or her strength. And not every man handles that information with care. If you say you're struggling, he may see a chance to take control, to become the decision maker, to gain power over your life by offering help you didn't ask for. If you say you're secure and comfortable, he may grow comfortable too, expecting you to lead, invest, support, or carry more than your share. Money reveals more than numbers. It reveals power, balance, independence, expectation, and control. A woman who protects her financial details protects her independence, not because she is hiding, because she understands that trust is earned, not given at first handshake or first dinner. A relationship should be built on emotional connection before financial exposure. If a man knows too soon that you are financially struggling, he might feel needed instead of valued. If he knows too soon that you are financially stable, he might see opportunity instead of partnership. A man needs to fall in love with the woman, not the wallet. With your mind, not your money. With your presence, not your position. You never want someone to stay because of what you have or because of what you lack. You want someone who stays because of who you are. You don't need to tell him about debts, loans, family responsibilities, business failures, or the nights you balance survival and sacrifice. These things are real, but they are yours to reveal only when commitment and loyalty are clear. Just like you shouldn't tell a man how much you suffered in love, you shouldn't tell him how much you suffered financially. Struggle shared too soon becomes weakness instead of testimony. Let a man see your discipline, not your desperation. Let him see your ambition, not your anxiety. Let him see you rising, not drowning. When he sees how you manage your life without broadcasting your burdens, he respects your strength more deeply. And if you are financially strong, don't advertise it like a trophy. Don't tell him about every investment, every saving, every smart decision that built your stability. Silence can be protection. Mystery can be power. A man should earn access to your world through consistency, honesty, effort, and emotional responsibility. Money should not be the foundation. It should be the reward of a balanced partnership. A strong woman does not boast wealth, nor does she beg for help. She stands steady, she moves wisely, and she shares only when loyalty is proven. Because in a world where people chase comfort, it's easy to be valued for what you offer. But the right man will value you for who you are long before you reveal what your bank account holds. Never reveal how emotionally attached you're becoming too soon, because the moment a man realizes your heart is already his before he is given proof of commitment, the balance of effort shifts. Love is powerful. Timing is everything. When a woman begins to care deeply, she feels it all at once. Her heart opens, her mind softens, future starts to include his presence without even asking for permission. She may want to express it, to tell him how much he means, how she thinks of him at night, how she misses him in silence. But when feelings arrive early and words arrive too fast, she exposes her emotional center before she knows if he's even earned space there. Attraction should be mutual. Investment should be equal. Effort should be reflected, not assumed. A man values what he works for, what he earns, what he grows toward. If he feels you are already emotionally committed without requiring consistency or effort, he may relax, stop trying, stop pursuing, because the chase he once felt is gone. Not because he doesn't care, but because certainty kills curiosity when given too early. When you reveal deep attachment too soon, you hand him reassurance he has not yet earned. Let him wonder sometimes. Let him miss you. Let him question how much you feel, not because you're playing games, but because you value pacing over pouring. Feelings should grow like a flame, not explode like fireworks that disappear just as fast. When a woman holds a little mystery, she holds power. When she expresses interest, but not full emotional dependence, she gives the relationship room to breathe, to evolve, to unfold naturally. You don't need to tell him how deeply you care. Show it slowly through consistency, kindness, presence. Let your affection reveal itself layer by layer, not all at once like an open book placed on a table. A man should discover your heart, not be handed it instantly. The beauty of love is in the process, the journey, the gradual connection that is built with patience and understanding. If he is genuinely invested, he will show his feelings through effort, through commitment, through protective actions, not just words. Let him prove that your heart is safe with him before you reveal the depth of it. Let him earn the closeness you feel, not by test, but by time. When you nurture your emotions privately first, you protect your peace. You stop yourself from giving what is sacred to someone who might not be ready to hold it. You maintain control over your heart, not by withholding love, by honoring the value of it. Your emotions are priceless. Your attachment is meaningful. Your love is not something to throw lightly into someone's hands. A woman who understands her worth gives gradually, not instantly. She listens more than she confesses. She observes effort more than she seeks promises. And in doing so, she creates a relationship built on mutual desire, not one-sided devotion. Never reveal every detail of your past mistakes, because some chapters of your life are meant to remain lessons, not stories for others to dissect. A woman who has lived, loved, stumbled, and stood back up again carries history inside her, and that history is powerful. But when you tell a man everything, each wrong turn, every naive decision, every moment your judgment failed, you risk being viewed through the lens of who you were instead of who you became. Growth is a quiet evolution. You outgrew a version of yourself, you shed habits, you healed from wounds, you no longer behave like the woman you once were. Yet when you expose every mistake, some men stop seeing your progress and start measuring your worth by your past. Your mistakes are not your identity, they are your teachers. And teachers are respected only when the lesson is understood, not when the entire story is explained. There is strength in mystery, grace in privacy, dignity in selective truth. Every human has done things they are not proud of, loved people who didn't deserve loyalty, ignored signs that were bright as daylight, trusted words that were never backed by actions. You survived things you would never want to relive. You learned the hard way what you now know effortlessly. That growth is sacred, and sacred things should not be given freely. A man does not need to know every detail of who hurt you, how you failed, what you regret. If he is the right man, he will love the woman you are now, not the mistakes that shaped you. When you reveal too much too soon, you risk being misunderstood. A person might take a single moment of your past and attach it to your character permanently, not realizing that you evolved beyond that chapter long ago. Some people see your scars and forget about your healing. That is why privacy is protection, not deception. You are not hiding your truth, you are honoring your journey. You are acknowledging that your lessons are personal, and not everyone deserves access to them. The right person will sense your wisdom without needing proof of the pain that created it. Your past mistakes belong to you. They are the fire you walked through, the storms you stood against, the nights you wiped tears alone while the world slept peacefully. They made you deeper, wiser, softer, stronger. But you don't owe anyone a step-by-step walkthrough of your transformation. Let your behavior reflect who you are. Let your peace speak louder than your past. Let your boundaries show how much you've grown. Real maturity is not declaring every wrong choice. It is choosing differently now. The woman you became is more important than the woman you were. And when you protect your past, you protect your power. Silence over old mistakes is not secrecy, it is self-respect. Never reveal that you fear losing him more than he fears losing you, because the moment a man senses that your world revolves around him, gravity of effort shifts. When you make it known, directly or indirectly, that he holds more value in your life than you do in his, you unintentionally place yourself below him in the emotional equation. You give him the comfort of knowing you will stay, even if he stops trying. You give him the certainty that he doesn't have to work as hard, pursue as deeply, or protect your heart as carefully. Love should never be a one-sided surrender. Affection must breathe in balance. Attachment should not outweigh self-respect. Even when your heart is full, even when your feelings are deep, there must always remain a part of you that he has to earn, cherish, and protect. A man values what he fears losing. He nurtures what he respects. He gives effort to what he feels lucky to have. But if you reveal that losing him is your greatest fear, he may begin to feel that your presence is guaranteed regardless of how he shows up. And human nature is comfort-driven. When someone knows you will remain, they often stop moving with urgency. They may stop planning, stop proving, stop pouring into you the way they once did. Not every man does this consciously, but certainty without effort breeds carelessness. The heart is like fire, beautiful, powerful, alive, but it flickers when one side stops feeding it. You should love deeply, yes. You should care boldly, yes. But you should also love yourself enough that losing someone does not destroy you. When a man knows that your happiness is not dependent on his presence, he sees your worth differently. He realizes you are with him by choice, not by desperation. You choose him because he adds to your life, not because you fear life without him. That difference is power. That difference is respect. That difference is the foundation of healthy love. A woman who carries self-worth moves differently. She doesn't beg for love, she inspires it. She doesn't chase attention, she attracts it. She doesn't announce her fear of losing someone because she knows that real connection is not maintained through fear, it is maintained through value. When she feels deeply, she does not confess blindly, she observes the reciprocity, she matches energy instead of overwhelming it. She watches how he holds her heart before she hands him more of it. She loves, but she does not collapse. She wants him, but she does not need him to breathe. And that balance is irresistible. You don't have to reveal your fear of losing him to prove that you care. Affection is shown through consistency, through presence, through kindness, not through verbal confession of dependence.